Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Right now at noon, shots fired on I-40 and a suspect is still on the loose after shooting into a truck during the morning commute. What we know about the car police are searching for at this hour.
And back to Bragg, the ceremony that officially returns the name back to Fort Bragg. We'll take you there live.
And at this noon hour, it is cloudy and chilly with temperatures mostly in the 40s. I'll show you the pattern change that could bring 70s back for tomorrow.
And right now, breaking at noon, a driver is in the hospital after a shooting on Interstate 40 eastbound in Wake County this morning. It caused backups for miles during our morning commutes. Thanks for staying with us here. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Renee Chu. Sky 5 live flying over the scene right now where deputies are still investigating. It looks like they are just putting that truck onto the trailer.
Yeah, and WRAL's Chelsea Donovan is out there right now. Chelsea, we're getting a look at the moments that this all happened.
Yeah, we should first say this started at 6:30 this morning. That's when the shots were fired, and we're going on almost 6 hours later. Look at the traffic backup still here on I-40. I think photojournalist Keith Baker is zooming in so you can see this investigation is still ongoing, and you can see most of the lanes are open, but it is at a standstill. Take a listen at some of the sights and the sounds that we captured today and got video from an eyewitness. Video taken from an eyewitness driving on I-40 shared with WRAL. You can clearly hear shots fired and then glass sprays into the windshield. This white truck was hit by bullets on 40 East this morning, snarling traffic for hours, as you can see from Sky 5.
There's going to be a white truck out there that possibly has 2 bullet holes in it.
Broadcastify radio traffic alluded to the person shot in this truck was transported to the hospital, and they were looking for a getaway car, a Honda. The Wake County Sheriff's Office confirmed it's investigating the shooting. The markings on the truck state Wilson and Cofield, an electric company in the area. They sent us this statement. They say at this time they have no information regarding the incident that took place. Above everything, the safety of our employees is at the forefront of importance of our company. Our thoughts and prayers are with our employee and his family, as well as those involved in the incident. Now, I've been speaking with the Wake County Sheriff's Office all morning to try to learn more about the person who was shot. We understand that person was taken to the hospital. They do say that they're going to have information on this victim later today. Obviously, we want to know more about the person who fired the shots and the getaway car. We're working to learn all that information, and we'll bring it to you as we get it. Live in Raleigh, Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.
Also new at noon, police say speed likely contributed to a Durham crash that killed 2 people and sent 4 others to the hospital. It happened on North Roxborough Street. And WRAL's Destiny Patterson is live there now for us. And Destiny, I know you just got some new information from police about what led up to the crash.
That's right. We are starting to get some new perspective from law enforcement here. I want you to take a look at the path of this car. You can see the skid marks here on the road. And police say that the driver lost control of the car and ended up veering off the road and hitting this tree right here. We're also learning the names of the people who died in this crash here. Police say the driver, Jose Beroria, and 1 passenger, Oscar Mesa, died in that crash. 4 other people are now in the hospital. We talked to a man who says that he's visiting the area from Florida, and he was awoken this morning around 2 a.m., and that's when he heard that crash.
And I heard a squeal of wheels and a loud crash. And then a couple minutes later, the police were here.
One of the passengers has life-threatening injuries, so we're continuing to check in on how they're doing. At this point, police say they believe that speed may have played a role in that crash, as Jeff said earlier. Across the street here, if you look, you can see that there is a damaged fence over here. That was from another crash, and we've talked to neighbors here, and they tell us that they're working to turn this road into a 2-way street instead of a 1-way, with the hopes to improve the safety in this area. We're going to continue to talk to neighbors out here, and we'll bring you more in our evening newscast. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Durham.
And happening now on the WRAL Live, so we want to get back to our top story. This huge delays we're seeing on I-40 eastbound because of that crime scene investigation, that shooting investigation on I-40 east near the Kerry Harrison exit. Keith Baker just showed you one angle. This is a different angle of the backup, as you can see from a live cam network. Now, we mentioned that at least 3 lanes of I-40 eastbound are open. So once you get past that crash, this is what you see. It's clear sailing once you get past the crash. Now, if you happen to be stuck there, here's what we're thinking that you should do. Get off on I-540 as an alternate route, and depending on where you're headed, just head to Highway 70. That'll get you into the capital city as an alternate route. We'll continue to monitor these delays on I-40 eastbound here in the noon hour.
All right, thank you, Ken. One more chilly day before temperatures climb into the 70s tomorrow. Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at why the warm weather won't last through the weekend, unfortunately.
Nobody wants to hear that. It is chilly out there right now. We take a live look at North Hills. It is gray. It's been gray since early this morning, and the gray skies are keeping us from warming up too much because we do have a wind that's coming out of the southwest. So that southwesterly flow is gradually going to start to warm things up, but the cloudy skies will keep that a very slow warm up. 48 is our temperature right now. We should climb up to almost 60 this afternoon as we get a little bit closer into the evening. Dual Doppler 5000 radar is dry right now. There was a little bit of light rain with some of these clouds. It was edging toward us a little while ago, but that is all dissipated. It's 51 in Clinton, 50 in Goldsboro, but 45 in Roxborough and 49 in Southern Pine. So we do have a ways to go. Looking at, again, close to 60 in Raleigh, 58 Durham, 62 in Fayetteville. The clouds will stick with us all day. But we go from 59 today to 73 tomorrow. Our normal high is 60. Sunday, though, we see another front, and that will drop our temperatures again. So we have a real roller coaster ride with our temperatures in the forecast for the next 5 days, and a little bit of rain to go along with it. Saturday looks like an absolutely gorgeous day to be outside, but after a front, Sunday temperatures will be much cooler, and there'll be a spotty shower. We'll talk about why it warms up so much tomorrow, and it's so much cooler Sunday coming up.
We're working to get some more information about this crash on Pool Road in Raleigh. It happened just after midnight near I-440. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows how badly damaged that car was. Airbags deployed, windshield busted. Officers on the scene tell us it was a single car crash. They say they believe the car was speeding. They have not said if anyone was hurt. A 70-year-old man was taken to the hospital after a crash in Garner. This happened on Buffalo Road this morning. Authorities say the man ran off the road and hit a tree. He had non-life-threatening injuries. Part of the road was shut down but has since reopened. Still no word what caused this to happen.
It's official. Fort Liberty has now been switched back to Fort Bragg. A redesignation ceremony is happening on post right now. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is there. Aaron, certainly a special day for Private First Class Roland Bragg's family.
Absolutely, Michelle, and good afternoon. We're still on base at this moment at what is now Fort Bragg. You can see that signage that is right behind us. You have several people that are taking pictures, and just within the last 30 seconds, you've had some of these officials affiliated with the U.S. Army. They gave us a press conference just a while ago. This is a well-attended event. We did see Senator Ted Budd, Lieutenant Governor Rachel Hunt was also in attendance, and the family of Private First Class Roland Bragg, who this base is now named after. They traveled hundreds of miles to be here. If you're wondering who Roland Bragg is, he was a paratrooper who served during World War II, and he earned a Silver Star and a Purple Heart for his efforts. And we were here back in the year 2023 when the Defense Department scrapped the names of bases named after Confederate generals. Now, the current Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he had issued a memorandum last month ordering for the name Fort Bragg to come back after being named Fort Liberty. Now, of course, this renaming process is a celebration for some, and of course, it's a bit nuanced for others. We spoke with a retired military member to gauge his thoughts.
Decisions been made. We the lead follower or get out the way. And I decided to get in and be part of the process because, hey, once they said it's going back to Fort Bragg, it is what it is. Ain't nothing we can do about it anyway. So I'm, like either way, I'm okay. Because I was part of the dedication to Fort Liberty.
And of course, another live look here at the signage at Fort Bragg. We did have a chance to also speak with the granddaughters of Private First Class Bragg that were saying how they don't want to take this and make this political at all. Of course, they know how significant the Fort Bragg name is here in this area. This is actually the gentleman that this space is now named after. And of course, there's a lot of people that had something to say about this significant ceremony. Of course, we'll be diving into that a bit more at 4 and 6. Aaron Thomas, WRAL News, live at Fort Bragg.
There's free legal information available to you right now through Lawyers on Call.
Yeah, you can call the number scrolling at the bottom of your screen and ask a licensed lawyer your legal question. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur is live with some of those lawyers taking calls right here in the lobby at WRAL. Keely.
Hi, Renee and Jeff. Yes, this is for anyone who wishes they had a lawyer or attorney in the family and they don't. Well, we got you today. They have been working since 10 a.m. This event is going on until 7 p.m. It is statewide. So far, 1,700 people have called in to get free legal advice and guidance. We have lawyers and attorneys of all expertise. That's Rebecca Redwine. She deals with bankruptcy. Other experts can talk to you about business, tax matters, criminal law, elder law, estate planning, family law, housing, immigration, and so many other legal needs. So here's what you need to know before you call. Get your facts together. Have your questions ready. When you get on that call, make sure to take notes. And I also say this. These people need to talk to a lot of people. They are in high demand. So try to keep your questions limited and try to be really concise about what you're asking. But we are here for you all day long. The number to call, 919-891-9779. This event, like I said, is going on until 7 p.m. But I will say it gets especially busy with the phone lines after work. So if you can call now, go ahead and do so.
Very busy it's been since 10 this morning when those lines opened up. Keely, thank you. We'll check back in. Today, Governor John Stein will be in Charlotte to highlight the positive impacts of Medicaid expansion in North Carolina. He'll hold a roundtable discussion with North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Deb Sangvi. It's happening at 1 this afternoon.
The February jobs report shows growth was weaker than expected last month. 151,000 jobs were added as employment growth rebounded. That number is below the 160,000 economists expected. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.1%. That's from 4% in January. And all of this comes as the Trump administration started slashing the federal workforce. Well, it was a weaker than expected jobs report released today, raising further concerns. This is a live look at Wall Street right now. Dow Jones down 358 points. The S&P also headed for its worst week since September.
Next at noon, setback for SpaceX. The second straight flight explodes. What this could mean for getting 2 astronauts back from the International Space Station.
Also, crime in Turks and Caicos. The travel warning just released about visiting the Caribbean islands.
Plus, AI companion concerns. The reaction from experts over chatbot relationships.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we've got a hazmat situation on Rush and Hammond Street, an unknown substance in the road. The hazmat team right now is testing that substance, and drivers should avoid the area. This is what we're talking about here. There's the substance right there in the road. So again, Rush Street and Hammond Road completely shut down. You see Raleigh police officers making sure no one gets into that area on both sides of Rush Street. That's the substance we're talking about. It's an unknown substance. We've got this call like around 11:30 this morning. Raleigh Fire Department responded to this scene. We don't know exactly what's going on. We're working to find out if maybe there are evacuations in the area. And of course, drivers are being encouraged to avoid this area altogether. So if you're just now walking into the room and you see this video, this is Sky 5 over Rush and Hammond. There's an unknown substance in the road. Fire hazmat team are testing that area right now. We'll stay on top of this and let you know exactly what we know as soon as we find out.
Thanks for that update, Ken. The Trump administration must pay debts owed to USAID's partners by Monday. A federal judge issued that ruling. At least 9 nonprofit groups and 8 organizations filed the lawsuit against the administration. About $2 billion is owed to USAID partners after the Trump administration ordered a freeze on foreign assistance.
Today, we'll get more information about the investigation into the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. New Mexico officials plan to hold a news conference this afternoon. The Santa Fe County Sheriff says Hackman and Arakawa may have died up to 2 weeks before their bodies were found on February 26th. Tests for carbon monoxide poisoning were negative. Authorities do not believe that foul play was a suspect there. And 15 people are hurt too seriously after fighter jets mistakenly dropped bombs in South Korea. New video from a village shows the moment one of those bombs fell. 8 bombs were dropped about 20 miles from the North Korean border. They were supposed to hit a training range. South Korean officials say one of the pilots entered the wrong coordinates. It is not clear why a second pilot also dropped the bombs. This was part of joint training exercises with the U.S. military. No American aircraft were involved.
New at noon, photos released by NASA show the International Space Station after the SpaceX Starship exploded. This is the second flight in a row this has happened not long after leaving the launch pad. Rebecca Castor shares how the setback creates worries when it comes to helping the 2 astronauts who have been stranded in space for months.
It might look like fireworks, but that's fiery debris from SpaceX's Starship barreling through the skies over Florida Thursday. After a successful liftoff, things went south about 8 minutes in.
And we just saw some engines go out. It looks like we are losing attitude control of the ship.
It's the second SpaceX test flight in a row where the ship went up in flames not long after leaving the launch pad.
The primary reason we do these flight tests is to learn. We have some more to learn about this vehicle, but we're going to be right back here in the not too distant future, and we're going to get a ship to space.
The setback with Starship comes as SpaceX prepares to launch its tried and true Dragon spacecraft next week to retrieve 2 astronauts that have been stranded on the International Space Station since June. With recent claims by SpaceX CEO Elon Musk that an earlier offer to rescue the astronauts was turned down, the mission has turned somewhat political.
You shouldn't have been up there so long. The most incompetent president in our history has allowed that to happen to you. But this president won't let it happen.
Politics is not playing into this at all. From our standpoint, I think that they would agree. We came up prepared to stay long, even though we planned to stay short. That's what we do in human spaceflight.
Wow.
Saw the alternative there on the test flights, also uncrewed test flights that exploded 2 in a row there, but still a little worrisome if that's your ride back.
Exactly. You want to make sure it goes back in one piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with our next weather makers.
Yes, of course, it's chilly out there right now. Lots of cloud cover and breezy. Winds gusting this afternoon, 15 to 20. Here's the thing. Now, that makes it feel a little cooler, but the wind is actually coming out of the southwest. So gradually, that's going to help to warm things up for tomorrow. The cloud cover is keeping things a good bit cooler today, and the wind not as strong as it was yesterday, but should, again, help to deliver that warmer air for tomorrow. Tomorrow looks absolutely beautiful, but then our next rain chance is right behind it on Sunday with that chance of some scattered showers. We take a look at what's happening out there right now. We take a look at North Hills, and it is gray. Our temperature 48 degrees. We should climb on up to about 58, 59 for this afternoon, and we're starting to watch the winds a little bit. Here's a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. There was a little bit of rain trying to sneak down from the mountains towards Charlotte, but that's all dissipated. I wouldn't expect us to see much rain today. 49 in Southern Pines, 50 in Goldsboro, 48 in South Hill. There is a front that'll come through tomorrow. That's what's going to bring the colder temperatures for Sunday. And late in the day Saturday, maybe Saturday night, there could be just a brief sprinkle when that front comes through. 46 in Holly Springs, 47 in Garner, 48 in Nightdale, 47 in Cary, 49 in Wake Forest. So widespread 40s out there for the most part. And our winds still haven't gotten too gusty, looking at winds anywhere from about 3 to around 8 miles per hour out of the southwest. And again, those gusts this afternoon, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. We check out what's happening out there. I love this reported photo. Jessica Hill sent us this from Wayne County yesterday, where this big band of clouds was moving across the sky and started to eclipse, of course, the sunshine that was out there. Go to WRAL.com/report it and send us your photos. Around town, 59 in Raleigh, 58 Durham, 62 in Fayetteville. That's what we're looking at. And of course, our normal high is 60. So we should be close to that today, well above it tomorrow, and then close to it again Sunday and Monday before temperatures jump again into the 70s on Tuesday. Tuesday. If you happen to be planning to head out to the Battle of the Blues on Saturday, the afternoon, of course, is going to be gorgeous. Even at 4 o'clock, we should still be seeing 70 degrees. We'll see mostly sunny skies. By 8 p.m., 64. So it does remain mild for us. Of course, then Saturday night, don't forget to push your clocks ahead. We go back to daylight time. And of course, that gives us extra daylight in the evening, but it does shorten the daylight in the mornings. First 80-degree day of the year, we could see that on Wednesday. Last year, we saw our first 80-degree day of the year on March 14th, but that's way above what we normally see. The average first 80-degree day happens on May 17th. So we're doing it early this year. I don't think a lot of people will complain. Once we hit Tuesday and the temperatures start to climb, it looks like we could stay warm for a while.
Looks beautiful next week. Oh my goodness. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. Coming up on WRAL News at 4, whooping cough case confirmed. A local middle school provided that alert to parents how the disease can pose a risk to some people and how to reduce your chance of getting it.
And also tonight at 5:30, a rare restaurant score. See which local spot just got a C health grade in this week's restaurant ratings. Well, still ahead this noon, car seat recall. Next, why this model is being recalled and the danger it could put your child in.
And aviation anxiety, the fear of flying, is top of mind after several recent plane emergencies. Practical steps for those worried about taking to the skies.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, a hiring freeze is coming to some Wake County school staff positions. WRAL's education insider Emily Walkenhorst is obtaining some information that says in a note that the district is facing, quote, significant financial challenges that will extend beyond the upcoming school year. The freeze will delay hiring for positions by 90 days. This is an attempt to increase savings to help the district cover any budget shortfalls. This is just now coming into the newsroom. Emily's, of course, going through that paperwork. We'll have a lot more reporting on this starting in our news at 4.
Cybex is recalling multiple of its rear-facing infant car seats over harness strap issues. The company says it impacts this model here, the Aton G and the Aton G swivel restraints. It impacts the harness anchor pin, and it could become dislodged when the seat is not in use. This could cause the child not to be properly restrained, and the child could be in danger in an event of a crash. All impacted owners will get a free remedy kit to help fix it. Well, a week-long boycott against shopping on Amazon started today. The movement, started by the People's Union USA, was started to send, quote, a message loud enough to shake up the system. Organizers claim that Amazon hurts small businesses and exploits its workforce. The union is also pushing for people to avoid the other companies owned by the retail giant, which include Ring, Whole Foods, and Prime Video.
Walgreens is going private in a $1 billion agreement. The company closed a $10 billion deal with Sycamore Partners. Over the past 5 years, Walgreens shares have lost nearly 80% of their value. The company says a private equity firm has agreed to pay more than $11 per share in cash. Walgreens first went public in 1927. The deal brings an end to the chain's nearly 100 years as a publicly traded company. New reports say more people are being scammed by people posing as tax services. Scammers are helping people complete their tax return, and computer security company McAfee says 1 in 4 Americans have been duped. More than half of those surveyed say they lost more than $1,000. Scammers are using fake email, phone calls, and tax preparation websites.
Coming up, flu deaths are up. Next, how many our state has seen so far this year and what doctors say is causing it this year compared to years past. Healy.
And it is one of the biggest and best WRAL 5 on Your Side events of the year. We're talking about lawyers on call. Coming up, I'm going to share the number you can call to get a hold of these amazing legal experts.
I got some other winning numbers here. The NC Education Lottery numbers on your screen. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
shot in 4K ultra-high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
More than 100 people are gathered on Halifax Mall at this hour to call attention to cuts being made to science funding. It's part of a national day of demonstration called Stand Up for Science. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie is live at the rally, which is just getting underway. A lot of people behind you there, Laura.
It is. I'm going to get out of the way and let photojournalist Josie Zimmer show you this crowd here has swelled to at least a couple hundred people. It's getting larger by the moment. Many of the people I've talked to out here today are scientists themselves or have scientists in their families, and they're concerned about the cuts to research at the National Institute for Health, the USDA, and many other federal agencies. Pardon me. Many scientists have already lost their jobs doing research on everything from cancer to chemistry to climate change. Nicole Muzzy is one of today's organizers. She's a researcher with a federal program. She has not lost her job yet, but several of her colleagues have. And she says scientists are also being censored, being told what they can and cannot say about their findings. She thinks most people don't realize how much damage this is doing to the sciences in this country.
Even if it just seems like, it's just a few hundred employees from this federal agency. That's not what it is. It is an attack on science, and it is going to negatively impact a lot of people.
Now, about 1,100 people, almost 1,200 people were cut at the NIH. Yesterday, a federal judge put those cuts on hold pending a legal battle going forward, but a lot of people stay here. They still feel like they're in the crosshairs. Laura Leslie, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This morning, thousands of students across the state participated in tornado drills. It's part of North Carolina's Severe Weather Preparedness Week, which wraps up tomorrow. And this all comes just 2 days after we had actual tornado warnings statewide. Staff at Aversboro Elementary explain why this is so important to do.
We had several students and staff come in feeling uneasy, feeling uncertain. And so, again, we want to make sure that they're confident and they know that at the end of the day, we're going to do everything we can to keep them safe.
The National Weather Service and the State Department of Public Safety team up for this each year.
WRAL and 5 on Your Side are helping ensure our community has equal access to justice. The annual Lawyers on Call event is huge, and it's happening right now, connecting you with free legal answers, information, and resources. And Keely Arthur is live with how this service works. Keely?
It works in a number of ways, Jeff, but the first thing you have to do is call 919-891-9779. That's how you're going to get a hold of these amazing attorneys, lawyers, and other legal experts. And they can really talk to you about so many different things: bankruptcy, business, tax matters, criminal law, elder law, estate planning, family law, housing, immigration, you name it. You've ever wanted to call a lawyer or talk to somebody, you can probably call one right now, and they're going to help you. This is what the co-chair said is going to happen on the phone call once you do get a hold of them.
For the most part, you do field a lot of calls that day that an attorney can answer in 3 to 5 minutes, which can deal with any area of law. But if there's a basic legal question, it's a great opportunity for someone to be able to call and reach out that day and get a quick answer.
That's exactly right. This is about helping people get mobilized. It's not going to be a cure-all to a legal issue that you are dealing with right now, but these folks can really get you on the path to getting what you want later on. So the thing you need to do right now, call 919-891-9779. The phone lines are open until 7 p.m., but if you have the free time to call now, do it. This is a very busy and popular event.
And it's a great way for folks. Lawyers charge by the minute, really, when they're talking to you about stuff. These are free, and folks should reach out and do it. Keely, thank you for that.
Happening now on the WRAL Live, so we want to update our top story, that major backup that was happening on I-40 eastbound because of a crime scene investigation. And here's what we've gotten. Just in the last 15 minutes, we got word that crime scene investigation scene has cleared. So traffic is definitely flowing again as you look from I-40 and Aviation Parkway. And once you get past that area, here's I-40 and Wade Avenue. These are the eastbound lane coming toward us this noon hour. And definitely from our live traffic map, you can see things have definitely been moving along smoothly. So we'll continue to monitor this, and of course, we'll have more on that crime scene investigation that involved it somewhat might be a road rage incident starting on news at 4.
North Carolina is on track for its deadliest flu season in more than a decade. There have already been more than 360 deaths this year. According to state epidemiologist Dr. Zach Moore, the state is on pace to have the most flu-related deaths since 2009. That's the first year the state started recording them. Moore says there is no clear-cut reason why this season has been more deadly than past years.
It can have to do with the specific viruses that are going around. It can also have to do with the level of immunity out there in the population.
Of the 362 deaths in North Carolina so far, 2 have been children. Most cases have been people 65 years and older.
The travel warning, the latest destination officials are warning travelers about ahead of spring break and what they recommend you do if you have plans to go there.
Plus, fun in our city, a musical, an underground market, and a kid-sized career showcase. Out and About best bets are next.
And you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
A musical, an underground market, and a kid-sized career showcase. It's all coming up this weekend in the Triangle.
Yeah, we're going to start with a Tony Award-winning musical showing in Durham. It is Shucked. It's playing this weekend at the DPAC. The musical comedy is about a woman looking for answers about a corn blight in her small town. There are shows tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and tickets are still available.
And the Raleigh Underground Market happening this Sunday. The monthly event and concert series is happening at Midtown Park. There will be more than 45 local vendors, food trucks, beer and wine, and of course, some good music.
Marbles Kids Museum will host the Future Me Fair tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. Kids can meet representatives from a variety of businesses, including the Carolina Ballet, Carolina Hurricanes, Burt's Bees, North Carolina Courage, Raleigh Police Department, and Wake Tech. The event is included with your museum admission, and you can get more information on this event and others just by heading to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
Well, this weekend, you can get children's clothes and other items for low prices at the Kids Everywhere consignment sale. It's happening at South Hill Mall and Plaza on Buck Jones Road in Raleigh. It opens to the public tomorrow at noon. It'll also be open on Sunday starting at 2. You'll need to buy a ticket online. It'll also be open each weekend through March 23rd, with prices going down each weekend. Oversharing with AI. People are forming complex, sometimes romantic relationships on companion apps. The concern from privacy experts who say it's really hard to know how the information is being used.
And conquering the fear of flying. Next up, the tips psychologists are offering to help you if you're feeling anxious in the skies. Take a live look right now at our WRAL tall tower camera overlooking southeastern Wake County. From right there, you see that deck of clouds right there. We are waiting for a little bit of a warm-up tomorrow. It's chilly out there still, but warm-up tomorrow, and then temperature roller coaster continues on Sunday.
There's concerns over the growing popularity of companion apps. People are sharing their deepest, darkest secrets with AI tools, and privacy advocates are sounding the alarm. The AI companions are designed to seem like real people with distinct personalities. They give individualized responses, encouraging millions of users to share their most intimate thoughts. Some even encourage their users to fall in love. Jen Caltrider, who works with Mozilla, studied 11 so-called relationship chatbots. Using data trackers, she found that many of the apps are sending users data around the world, including 2 sites affiliated with Russia and China.
We saw apps go from having tens of thousands of downloads to millions of downloads in just a few months. But if you kind of try and suss out, well, who's the company behind this? Who are the people behind that? You know, they were kind of hidden.
And many of these kinds of apps ask users to self-report issues and do not monitor conversations. Privacy experts are asking users to keep that in mind when engaging with chatbots.
The U.S. State Department has issued a travel warning for the Turks and Caicos Islands. They say that the crime is high there and for people to be cautious. The State Department says there are limited resources for investigations there and U.S. officials might not be able to help. The agency warns not to walk alone at night, not to answer doors for unexpected visitors, not to resist during robbery attempts, and enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, which makes it easier to find you in case of emergency. Psychologists say more travelers have anxiety when it comes to getting on planes after the recent deadly accidents. Cleveland Clinic reports more than 25 million adults are impacted by fear of flying. Psychologists say it's important to educate yourself on the science behind flying, which could help provide reassurance if you start to panic. They also recommend identifying your triggers to help with coping mechanisms if you find yourself in those situations.
Think of anxiety, I want to hide and protect, where I want to be curious instead. Why do we experience turbulence? What is that like when we take off or land? Is it I need to practice modifying my thoughts when I'm experiencing turbulence?
And psychologists say focusing on your breathing is also critical because in most cases, those with anxiety don't realize that they're holding in their breaths. So breathe.
Yeah, admittedly, I am one of those that gets a little anxious on the plane. And
you hold your breath?
I do sometimes, and my fiance is like, okay, calm down, you're fine. So, yeah, breathing helps. It does.
Gotta breathe,
yeah.
Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Get out and get some fresh air today.
Yes, or even better yet, today and tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be glorious. We're going to see temperatures climbing into the low 70s, lots of sunshine. Today, it's on the cloudy side and a little bit chilly. We'll climb into the mid to upper 50s this afternoon. A live look at Fayetteville and Apex, as well as Raleigh, speaking of flying, over here at Terminal 2, and then Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We take a look at what's happening next. Our next big weather maker arrives on Sunday. That will be front ahead of it on Saturday that starts to lay the groundwork for some colder temperatures, and then a disturbance that swings through mostly down to our south. The rain has been trending southward the last 24 hours, but of course today we just got our first look at the high resolution models. They only go out about 48 hours. So we have a look at Sunday now, and it's a lot different than the long range model. So let's talk about that. First of all, this high pressure system is sliding off to the east and reversing our wind to southerly. That will eventually bring us some warmer temperatures. We do have this front that's trying to sneak over toward us, and that's just helping to bring a bit of cloud cover. This is a look at Sunday. We're going to jump on out to Sunday morning. This is a look at one of our long-range models that is really showing very little rain for us. That's 6:15 on Sunday. That's 11 o'clock. Notice how, just a few showers down here in our southern counties, and the bulk of the rain is well to the south. And both the GFS and the American are showing that. So that in itself gives us a good bit of confidence until we start to see the high resolution models coming in. And take a look at this. This is Sunday at 6 a.m. and it's nice and dry. But as we move on out closer to lunchtime, we end up with some showers. There's 9 a.m. starting to see some of that rain pushing in. And at lunchtime, it's pretty widespread across our area. But once we pass lunchtime, a lot of it starts to move on out. And by mid to late afternoon, we're fairly dry. So it's going to be maybe sort of a midday kind of an event for us. And then we start to dry out. However, on Monday, we may see a resurgence of some rain. So we have a 40% chance of rain in for both Sunday and Monday. This would be that sort of best case scenario where we don't see a whole lot of rain, but those short range models trending toward it. So here's your official forecast for the weekend. A green light to get outside on Saturday with the sunshine and the warm temperatures. It looks fantastic. Put a yellow light, a little caution light up for Sunday. It does look cooler, temperatures in the upper 50s, and there may be a few spotty showers. If you do have plans to be outside Sunday, keep checking back as we get more of those model runs in. We may, go ahead and bump that up and may put a red light on that. It may just be chilly and wet on Sunday. Our drought status certainly shows that we need some rain. This is new. Our orange shaded area where we have severe drought, that's new this week. And last week we had just 4% of the state in severe drought. And this week we have 11%. That does not include the rain that we saw on Wednesday. They stopped collecting data on Tuesday so that they can get all the numbers together. So daylight saving time, don't forget, starts on Saturday night. Push your clocks forward. And then look what we have to look forward to. Not only do we have some gorgeous weather in our forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but of course it will be light an hour later to enjoy it.
And we will, just as we've been enjoying this Eagle updates. Next, we will introduce you to the third hatchling that joined Jackie and Shadow's nest.
As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines we are following today. Breaking right now, a driver in the hospital after a shooting. It happened on I-40 East this morning. The incident caused backups for miles during the morning commute. WRAL has asked the Wake County Sheriff's Office for information about what happened. They say more details likely will be released later this afternoon.
Police say speed likely contributed to this crash in Durham that killed 2 people and sent 4 others to the hospital. It happened on North Roxborough Street. Officials say officers there say the driver lost control of the car, ran off the road and hit a tree. Jose Barroa and Oscar Meza died in the crash, and 4 other people are in the hospital.
It's official. Fort Liberty has now switched back to Fort Bragg. This time, Fort Bragg will be named in honor of Private First Class Roland Bragg, who rescued fellow paratroopers during World War II. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a memorandum ordering the name Fort Bragg return to Fort Liberty.
3 Special Olympics North Carolina athletes will be competing on the world stage starting this weekend. Stephen Foster, Ashley Tanner, and Trenton D'Agostino are part of Team USA headed to Italy today, and D'Agostino will compete in snowboarding. Foster is an alpine skier, and Tanner will take to the ice in figure skating. The World Games opening ceremony is tomorrow.
Next month, Mega Millions tickets are going to cost you more. The lottery says the new price will be $5 per play. This is the second time ever the Mega Millions has upped the price. The last time was in 2017. The Lotto says it's overhauling the game, including by improving jackpot odds. It says it expects more billion-dollar wins in the future. You watch the Mega Millions drawings live right here on WRAL every Tuesday and Friday night at 11 o'clock.
Okay, so we've been on Eagle Watch all week, and we are happy to report Jackie and Shadow officially have eaglet triplets.
They do, and this is a live look at the nest right now. This is in Big Bear, California. The nest cam actually caught the hatching of the 2 of the eggs earlier this week, and a 3rd hatched yesterday. You can actually see a little pip in the egg. But there it is. And there are the 2 little eaglets. Thousands of people have been watching Jackie and Shadow this week, and so many are thankful. The couple will finally see their family soar. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. You can watch the live nest cam on the Friends of Big Bear Valley's YouTube channel. But it's amazing how snowy it is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gorgeous, but oh my gosh, that
Well,
eagle.
the view. Look at the
view.
lake back there.
know.
Goodness, that
I know.
is
It's beautiful.
That is something else.
Yeah.
Good luck to that growing family.
Yeah.
It brings us to our pets of the day today. Pets, 2 bonded pairs of cats, Archibald and Kazoo. Archibald is 4, Kazoo is 2, and they are both male cats who are the best of friends looking for a home together. Kazoo is outgoing. Archibald tends to be shy at first, but both are loving with their big hearts. They share an adoption fee of $120, and that includes their neuters, microchips, vaccines, and other wellness care. For more information, you can visit spcawake.org.
And coming up at 4, death by firing squad. The South Carolina man scheduled for execution tonight. Why he chose this rare method. And NBC News Daily is coming up next on WRAL. Your next local news update is in 30 minutes.
You get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Have a great, safe weekend, and we leave you with this beautiful look of the eaglets. Trying to stay warm, right?
Yeah.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257.